Hey there, I am Defunct Politics. I made my first video yesterday, and now I've got a camera. I actually just found it, so I hooked it up. Anyway, I want to talk about some radical feminists, and I found this webpage called antipornography.org, and, well, I think that's about as good as any place to go for the source. Well, they have this frequently asked questions site where there's a lot of questions about why they're against porn and stuff like that, so we'll just be going over some of it. And I'd just like to state that it may seem like that I'm brushing some of it off, but well, if you want to know how they are not, right in saying that this is so degrading to women as they claim it is, then you should maybe go watch a lot of Jordan Owen's videos. I'm in the description box. I'm gonna link some of the videos by Jordan Owen that I found very helpful in explaining why porn isn't as degrading as anti-porn feminists make it out to be. Now, what's wrong with pornography is the first question. And the first answer is pornography degrades and dehumanizes women and girls. Now, something that I don't quite get about this point is that they keep saying that pornography degrades and dehumanizes females. That's what they talk about the most. They don't really talk about the men who are involved in this. Is gay porn, degrading to men? They also make a point later that porn is also degrading to men because of the size of the penises that the men have in porn. But, I don't really see how that's degrading. I mean, like all men know, not all, there are obviously some idiots out there, but decently intelligent people will know people do not have sex like they do in porn, and people do not look like they do in porn. I mean, I'm fairly certain that any woman that I'm going to have sex with will know that my penis is not, 8 inches or what the fuck ever. I don't really, so I don't really care too much for any point where they say it's degrading because, the hypersexuality, as they call it, makes the sexual experiences that we try to get, undesirable because they're not as extreme. That just doesn't make much sense to me. So in that way, I don't really see how it's degrading. Another way that they talk about that pornography is degrading is that, the women in the videos are being degraded on the spot, and that also doesn't make sense because unless you talk to a very small percentage of anti-porn actresses, you'll find out that most of the responses, for example, from people as Sasha and people who are still in the industry as Nina Hartley, you'll find that they don't see it as being they don't see it as being degrading. They choose to do exactly what they want to do, and if there's something in a video that they don't want to do, then they don't have to do it. And I don't really, they don't provide any evidence at all except for naming some obscure porn videos. For example, in the first question where it was answered with pornography degrades and dehumanizes women and girls, they just list 2 movies called Sperm Receptacles 4 and Junkyard Cumholes. I've never heard about those movies, but that's an argument from ignorance, and that doesn't really bear any evidence at all. But I'm just saying it's not as normal as they make it out to be. Now, pornography glamorizes rape and abuse, and I don't see how, because most of the porn that you'll find anywhere, unless it's some kind of rape fantasy, then it's also consensual, like any mainstream porn is. Of course, you can find fringe porn, which is, maybe I haven't even seen stuff like that yet, but I guess you can find sick trafficking videos and stuff like that. But that's not what I as a person want to watch. I want to watch consensual people having sex, and that's not rape and abuse. I actually often I'm very sickened by when women are abused. I also read hentai and stuff like that, and when women are abused in hentai, I go away from it. I don't want to watch stuff like that. So it's also a matter of choice. You just need to think about what you want to watch in porn, and if it's something you don't want to watch, then don't watch it. I mean, and it's probably not that frequent either. Anyway, pornography harms relationships and marriages by glamorizing infidelity. And then they list cheating housewife 6 and Latin adultery 6. I also think that what they're doing, they also wrote sperm receptacles 4. And I think they're doing that, you know, so they show that there are more than one of these videos, that there are actually, as they say, cheating housewife 6, then there are 6 or more of those. But also, these are just fantasies. Of course, some people, you know, can't tell the difference between reality and fiction, which porn is. Porn is fiction. It's staged people having sex. It's professional also. So, you know, if you can't really tell the difference, then I think the problem is a lot more on your part. If you think that it's a good idea to cheat on your husband or wife just because you saw it in a porn video, then you're the idiot, not the guys who make the porn video. Pornography lies about women, depicting them as all being sexually insatiable, addicted to cock and gangbang junkies. Well, again, it's fantasy, and that's another thing. I just want to talk about this now. Feminists seem to think, no, not feminists, sorry, radical feminists like these anti-pornography idiots seem to think that anything that's depicted as in porn is serious. It's like, you know, watching a comedian perform a stand-up show and then taking what he says literally and actually believing it. A really good example would be C.K. Lewis, for example. C.K. Lewis makes a lot of jokes about rape and incest and stuff like that, but do you think that means that he goes out and rape people? No, it's for artistic purposes. I can't really speak out, you know, maybe some of the people who were in these, you know, cheating porn videos did go out and cheat on their significant other, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. It's just, it's not relevant to the matter at hand. Pornography, as all being sexually insatiable. I don't really know about that. I mean, of course, they are depicted as being sexy, but that's kind of the, you know, that's the purpose of porn. They're supposed to look like they want sex, or else no one would watch it. I mean, that's what it's about. Yeah. Pornography creates insecurities in men by falsely implying that a huge penis is necessary for the sexual satisfaction of a woman. Just like I talked about before, I know that, you know, I know that not all women will. I don't think that all women expect me to have a giant penis, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, the only people who are actually pointing out that that you think that it matters is you. You're the one talking about that. This makes us think that we need to have bigger penises. I don't, and, you know, whatever. Pornography glamorizes sexual slavery. Well, this is another point that Don Hawkins and Gail Dines have also been talking about, you know, BDSM sex and sadomasochism in general. And to me, it doesn't make any fucking sense, because it's a sexual kink. I mean, people get off on being slaves. People get off on all this shit that you call degrading. You know, you don't really get to decide what's degrading to someone else. If I think that something is perfectly suitable and I find it enjoyable, then it's for me to watch. And not that said that if I'm harming people in the process, of course, that would be stupid. But when two people consent to do something like BDSM sex, it's consensual, and that means, you know, people are, they know what they're getting into. So there's not, yeah, maybe you could say that it glamorizes sexual slavery, but it doesn't really matter, because if people don't like being sexually dominated, then they won't, you know, they won't watch the porn videos, and they won't try to ask their partners about it. And that's another thing. You seem to think that people who indulge in these kind of sexual fetishes are wrong. I remember Don Hawkins saying that it's a mental disease, and it's categorized as a mental disease by the UN or something like that. And that's horrible. I mean, you can't just classify someone who has a different kind of sexuality than you and just say that they're insane. I mean, of course, As an example, I don't enjoy scat porn at all, but I know it's out there, and I know that people enjoy it. Do I go out and tell people that they can't do scat porn? No. If they want to do scat porn, that's their own fucking business, even though it's harmful to them. And that's another thing. You seem to radical anti-porn feminists seem to think that they know what's best for everyone, even though that they have no evidence. They have none of the evidence that they claim they have. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then maybe you should go watch, as I said, some of the Jordan Owen videos that I'm going to be linking down there. So the only real thing I get from the radical feminist movement is that they're anti-sex. They're not very sex positive people, and when you tell them this, they'll deny it and say they're very sex positive. But you haven't really defined what's sex positive sex. All you're saying is what's the negative stuff, just like this list does. I mean, there's so much shit in this list.